the first complete song came together before our debut album came out.
Hello, welcome.
Hey.
New album, Contra, is coming at the beginning of 2010.
Yes.
What was the first moment when you started thinking as a band of making a new record again?
Well, actually, I think the first bits and pieces, and in fact the first complete song, came together before our debut album came out, which was January of 2008. We'd been working and recording that record in New York when we had jobs and before we did our first tours. So we pretty much had that album done about a year or so before it came out. So just naturally, as we started touring and as music became our full-time thing, you know, we had ideas for songs and bits and pieces. So the one song named White Sky, we actually played for the first time on our album release show in New York, January 29th of 2008, and other bits and pieces, like one of the main ideas of Horchata was around. We had a demo of that from a while ago. So yeah, so pretty much since before the first album came out, we've been maybe not consciously, you know, what certain thematic things or cohesive things, but more just new songs and moving forward. So for a while.
Okay, isn't that a little bit strange for you as well, that you have to play songs from your debut album while you still have some new songs out that you maybe not can play them all the time because you want to promote your first album?
No, I mean, I think we don't really have that many songs in general. So it was more just playing songs that we had and you know, I think it's fun when you come to see a band that you don't know some of the songs, like you hear some new stuff. So we definitely tried to work it in when we could, but you know, I think it was never really a choice of, it was never like will this promote our record? It was just, you know, whatever worked for the set and whatever worked for the show.
Okay. Can you remember the very first idea that was born for this record? Or maybe the very first song?
Well, the White Sky was probably the first song.
Yeah.
And I remember being in a parking lot in Manchester, I think our second day of our first European tour before our album came out, and Rosslyn was playing the kind of the bass beat of the song, and Ezra was kind of singing the melody. That's the first time I remember White Sky really coming about.
Okay. Was it when you started grabbing all those songs, putting them together to make a record, was it directly clear which songs you really want to have on this new record, or was it?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're the type of band that, or not the type of band rather, that writes, you know, 50 songs and then whittles it down to an album. Pretty much we pursue the songs that we think are going to be good and worthwhile. So there's 10 songs on the album, and there are a couple which we didn't end up finishing and 2 which we finished but are B-sides and didn't make it onto the album proper. So you know, yeah, we kind of got together and it's more not about whittling down songs, but deciding and identifying which ideas and which parts are worth pursuing to flesh them out fully.
Okay. What was your role in the whole writing process of this?
Well, it depends. Some songs came together differently, where something like Cousins was a riff that we'd been fucking around with in sound checks for a long time. So we had kind of that groove, and then, you know, you put the chorus B part onto it, and I, you know, come up with the coda. So there's about half the songs were made in that way, which was very similar to how we did the first record. Pretty much just the 4 of us at our instruments, with ideas and parts and kind of putting them together. And the others were kind of more constructed in the studio, where again similarly you'd have a bass part, but then build it from there. So I mean, I think no 2 songs really come together in exactly the same way. It really depends on where it starts and you know, whoever has what ideas.